Every single day, more than $10 trillion flows through the global financial system. Networks like SWIFT and CLS Bank process millions of secure transactions, settling trades and balancing the world's economy in milliseconds. There is a common misconception that this massive volume of data bounces through the sky via satellites. In reality, satellites handle less than 1% of global communications. More than 95% of international data actually travels through a physical network of over 1.5 million kilometers of fiber-optic cable, resting quietly at the bottom of the ocean. These physical lines create a direct, hardwired tether between major global hubs. Data leaving the financial district in London surfaces nearly instantaneously halfway across the planet, illuminating the servers in Tokyo. The entirety of our digital existence, our global economy, and our military security depends entirely on literal physical threads, hidden completely out of sight. The ocean has always been a hostile environment to bridge. In the 1850s, a visionary businessman named Cyrus West Field attempted the incredibly risky project of laying the first transatlantic telegraph cable. It was a massive physical undertaking. Ships like the Agamemnon had to be retrofitted with heavy mechanical gear to manage the tremendous weight and tension of deploying a continuous line across the open sea. This early cable was rudimentary, relying on a core of copper wire insulated by India rubber and a tree sap called gutta percha. It was entirely exposed to the harsh, corrosive elements of the deep. Ultimately, a human error doomed the project. An engineer named Wildman Whitehouse insisted on forcing highly elevated voltages through the system to speed up transmission, completely destroying the fragile insulation. And the line failed completely within weeks. The lesson was immediate and permanent. The ocean aggressively punishes any flaw in engineering. Today's cables require extensive protection. This cross-section shows thick layers of tar-soaked nylon, galvanized armor wires, and a copper sheath. At the absolute center is the data conduit, an ultra-pure glass core, the diameter of a human hair, where signals travel as light. As light fades traveling through glass, submarine repeaters are installed every 40 to 80 kilometers. They catch the fading optical signal and boost it back to full strength. These pressure vessels operate continuously for 25 years, withstanding freezing temperatures and crushing hydrostatic pressures. Without this exact micrometer-level precision, the crushing depths of the ocean would instantly black out global communications. Despite this heavy engineering, the network breaks constantly. Worldwide, submarine cables experience roughly 200 physical faults a year, an average of 4 separate severances every single week. This chart shows the primary causes of these cable faults. You can see that natural disasters actually account for a very small fraction of the damage, with geological events making up just 7% of faults. When deepwater earthquakes and undersea landslides occur, damage is severe, snapping multiple cables simultaneously. However, the primary threat is found in shallow coastal waters. 98% of faults happen within a nation's exclusive economic zone, overwhelmingly driven by human maritime activity. Commercial fishing is a leading cause of damage. Heavy trawl doors dragged along the seabed, and dredging rakes designed to dig for shellfish easily hook and snap the buried lines. There is also the growing threat of anchor drag. A rising shadow fleet of aging, poorly maintained oil tankers frequently allows multi-ton anchors to drag negligently across the shallow seabed for miles, tearing through any infrastructure in their path. The internet does not exist in an untouchable cloud. It is routed through an active, industrial seabed, where one dragged anchor can sever a nation's lifeline. When a fault is detected, operators isolate the exact coordinates and dispatch a specialized multi-million-dollar repair vessel, the Ocean Cable Ship, out into the open ocean. The crew drags a specialized grappling hook along the dark seabed to locate the damaged cable. They cut the line in two and haul both severed ends up to the surface. Aboard the ship, inside a sterile jointing room, technicians meticulously splice in a spare cable section. While rolling on the waves, they must perfectly align and fuse each microscopic glass fiber back together by hand. The heavy, repaired section is carefully lowered back to the seafloor, where a remotely operated underwater vehicle uses high-pressure water jets to plow a new trench and bury it deep into the sand. The continuous operation of our digital world relies entirely on this small fleet of specialized ships, constantly fighting the elements to physically stitch the planet back together. The average internet user never notices these 4 weekly breaks because of network redundancy. When a cable snaps, data is instantaneously rerouted through alternative paths along the ocean floor. Recognizing this physical fragility, major technology companies are investing billions of dollars to lay entirely new cables, creating alternative routes that bypass vulnerable geographic choke points. But this redundancy only protects against localized accidental damage. Amid rising geopolitical tensions, hostile nations possess the strategic military capability to intentionally target and sever multiple redundant lines simultaneously. If a coordinated attack successfully severed these deep-sea glass threads on a massive scale, how long could the modern world actually continue to function?